by buying real estate or gold or simply stuffing it under their mattress. I saw this as something that I could try and change. So with just one small investor, I started my own asset management company. We're now giving domestic investors access to listed alternative investments for the very first time in India's financial history. Working with government, we have been involved in drafting regulations and being evangelists for our industry. In just one generation, we have been able to adapt the best practices from the West and build an investment culture at home. In the last 8 years, our team has grown from zero to $1 billion under management, and we still have a long way to go. Marathon winners don't often think about winning. They think about putting in their best performance. And I want my best performance to make a better, more robust India. And this is just the starting line.
IT is evolving at breakneck speed, shaping the world in its way and altering the way we perceive things. IT is pulsing at the heart of today's business, and Manage Engine works towards simplifying IT management for businesses. Enterprise IT management solutions designed for IT service management, IT operations management, identity and access management, security information and event management, unified endpoint management and security, and advanced analytics. Our exhaustive portfolio of over 60 products has managed the IT of more than 180,000 organizations and is used by over 2 million IT professionals across 190 countries. Real-time IT management solutions for the new speed of business.
Let's always put our clients' needs above our own.
Let's have honest conversations.
Let's have candid debates about what retirement savings really means.
Let's dispel false hopes
and build real dreams.
Let's stand by our clients' side as the world around them changes.
Let's have the courage to take the long view.
Let's hold ourselves to a higher standard of ethics.
Let's build a better world for investing.
One charter holder at a time.
That's what we do.
That's what I do.
That's what I do every day.
I am a CFA charter holder.
I am a CFA charter holder.
I'm a CFA charter holder.
I am a CFA charter holder. I measure up.
I measure up.
My name is Ding Shua.
My name is Ganesh Sundar.
My name is Kyoko Narita.
My name is Paul Smith.
제 이름은 송진희입니다.
And I'm building a better world for investing.
CFA Institute. Let's measure up.
Hello and welcome to the Hindu BusinessLine Cerebration Corporate Quiz 2021. This is the 18th annual edition of this beautiful quiz that has spanned almost 2 decades now. It has turned an adult in its 18th edition, and we're all pleased to welcome our 6 fine participants from the Chennai region. Today, we're here to welcome all of you who are witnessing us from various platforms online as we live stream this quiz with 6 of the finest quizzers from the Chennai region in the first of our 6 regional finals. Here we are at Chennai. Later today, we'll be going to Kochi, which will be followed by Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Delhi, and finally drawing the curtains of the regional round with Mumbai. My name is Ajay Punya, and I'm proud to welcome each one of you in this quiz. We have a long way to go. It's a quiz with some wonderful prizes. There's the first prize of 75,000, second prize of 50,000, and the third prize of 25,000. The sum total of 1.5 lakh rupees that's up for grabs. Sounds cool, doesn't it? But the competition heats up with these shiningly bright quizzers that we have accumulated today for the regional final. We didn't do any draw of lots. We didn't randomly call any 6 people from a Yellow Pages diary. We organized a week-long preliminary round where over 6,000 participants from across the country participated, from various corporates, MBA aspirants, MBA students, corporate executives, everywhere from across the country participated, and we finally settled with top 36 divided in 6 different regions of 6 participants each. Here at Chennai, we have our 6 participants, so it is with immense pleasure and privilege I welcome them one by one on screen, starting with our first participant, that's Jaikantan R from TCS. Welcome, Jaikantan. Then as participant number 2, we have Janu Surendran from Tenant Q. Welcome to you as well. As participant number 3, we have Anjana Jayalakshmi, who's a marketing consultant. Welcome, Anjana. Then as participant number 4, we have Ramesh Natarajan from Freshworks. Welcome, Ramesh. Then as participant number 5 from IIT Madras is Pranav Hari. And finally, completing the lineup as participant number 6 in the Chennai region final is Srivatsavan Sridhar from Servion Global Solutions. Congratulations and welcome to each one of you. It must be a matter of great joy for qualifying in the regional final, but of course, the battle isn't won yet. This is one of the ladders that you have to cross in an attempt to reach the final, which is where the stakes are increased, where you compete against the 5 regional winners from different parts of the country as well. Today, after the end of the 4 rounds in today's quiz, we will be left with 1 winner, 1 national finalist that will be representing the Chennai region in the national final that will take place later this month. But before we begin, it gives me immense pleasure in welcoming our editor of BusinessLine, Mr. Raghuveer Srinivasan. Sir, may I have you on screen to declare this wonderful program open, sir?
Hello, everyone. BusinessLine is a newspaper known for its thought leadership. It is read by decision makers, policy makers, CEOs, CXOs, and the high-profile readership that it has. We have an annual event called Cerebration, BusinessLine Cerebration Quiz. It is well known in the quizzing circles, and quiz aficionados have participated in the past, and they have made it a success. It's back this year. Cerebration, BusinessLine Cerebration is back this year with its 18th edition. This time it'll be in a virtual format. And, I invite all you brainiacs, whether you're corporate executives, business professionals, B-school students, or MBA aspirants, to come and showcase your knowledge and, participate and compete with the best in the quizzing business in this country. You will not be, we will reward you well for your efforts. You stand a chance to win the most coveted intellectual title and take home prize money worth up to 1.5 lakh rupees. The first prize will get 75,000, the second prize 50,000, and the third 25,000. The format is such that you'll be asked to answer 25 questions to qualify for the regional rounds. From August 14th till 22nd, the top 6 teams from each regional round will compete to reach the finals. On 28th August, the winners of the regionals from the 6 cities will battle for the coveted title of the most brainy person in India, or the best quizzer in India, whichever way you want to see it. So come along, pitch your talent against the best in the business, and go back home with not just pride, but with also a lot of knowledge.
Right, the benchmark has been set there by sir. We're looking for the most brainy person in the most intellectual of competitions, and that gives me a bit of pressure to ensure that I ask questions which actually help us find the most brainy person, the most intellectual person amongst the 6 participants that have gotten here together today. But before we begin, I would also like to welcome on screen Mr. KP Manjunath, who's the Deputy General Manager of the Chennai region from Union Bank of India. Sir, may I request you to come on screen and just cheer and applaud these wonderful participants for this quiz here today.
Good morning, all. I'm representing Union Bank of India. Union Bank of India is proud to be associated once again with the BusinessLine celebration, now in its 18th edition. This is the 7th year Union Bank of India has associated itself with the BusinessLine quiz as a presenting sponsor. You are aware that Union Bank of India is the 5th largest bank in the country, having a total business of more than 15.50 lakh crore, and is nearing 16 lakh crore, including the deposits and advances. And it has got, after the amalgamation with the Corporation Bank and Andhra Bank, the bank has grown leaps and bounds. The total strength of the bank has gone up more than 75,000 plus employees, and 9,500 plus branches, 13,000 plus ATMs. And it has the tentacles spread across the country, states as well as union territories. It is catering to the needs of the individuals, the downtrodden in the society, corporates, groups of individuals, etc. The bank has the vision to be the 2nd largest bank in the country very shortly, and is fast moving towards that position. The bank is happy to be associated with this quiz competition, and the best brains in Chennai have joined, and they will definitely enjoy this quiz, and the best brains will come out with a lot of the innovative the replies to the questions which the sponsor, the participants would receive from the presenter, and they will enjoy this program. And I wish all the participants all the very best. I wish them come out with flying colors. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you so very much, sir. At this point, I'd like to thank our sponsors, without whose generous contribution, without whose benevolent support, this program wouldn't have been possible. This program is brought to you by our title sponsor, Union Bank of India. It's powered by CFA Institute and in association with Manage Engine. Thank you from the bottom of our heart to each of these sponsors. Now, here we are welcoming our 6 participants one final time before we pick action in our first of 4 rounds. You're all familiar with how quizzing works, right? You've been given so many answers over the course of your lives. You gave a few answers, 25 to be precise. When you participated in the prelims, you did very well. That's half the job done. Now the more difficult half begins, because now the smartest and the brightest of 6 participants have gotten together to participate in the Chennai regional round. Before further ado, let's begin. All right, so this is round number 1, the first of our 4 rounds. It's called Truth Seeker. I will be giving you 8 statements on the buzzer. Your job is to identify whether the statement is true or false. If you do that, I will give you points, but not immediately. All you have to do is just say true or false. Then I pass to the second person on the buzzer. They can choose to agree or disagree with you, depending on their interest, whether they want to accumulate positives or negatives. And then the third person also agrees or disagrees with the first person for +3 and -5. Negatives, if your identification or your agreement or disagreement is incorrect, there's a flat negative of -5. But if you do give a right answer, or if you agree with the right answer, you get a +10, +6, +3, depending on the order, right? If that is clear, hands on the buzzer. Your first question, common to everyone on screen. Here it is on your screen now. FI, a neobank aka online banking platform, released a campaign few months ago looking for a CBO, that is Chief Bindas Officer, for working professionals who have a broken relationship with money, although they did clarify that it's a fictitious role made to help people get better with money. True or false? I do have three of you interest. First on the buzzer is Janu. Yes, Janu. True or false?
It's true.
Passes to Srivatsavan. Srivatsavan, Janu said true. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree with Janu. It's true.
You agree. Passes to Pranav. Agree or disagree with Janu's true?
Agree.
Say that again, please.
I agree.
You agree. So basically, all three of you think that this is true. The answer, let's see if that is correct, is false. It's not Chief Bindas Officer. The CBO is not the Bindas Officer, but a Chief Broke Officer. I'm afraid all three of you get a negative. Janu, that's a -5 to you. Shivatsavan, that's a -5 to you as well. And Pranav, it's a -5 to you as well. Unfortunately, the three of you haven't started well, but there's a long way to go in this quiz. So many more questions to come. I'm sure you'll regain those points. Let's move on to our next question. Here is question number 2, or statement number 2 on your screen now. When Domino's entered India in 1996, it identified 3 main rivals, but McDonald's, KFC, or Barista were not on the list. Around that time, people only had a taste for roti, dal, and chawal. Pizza was alien to them. Our biggest rivals are still roti, dal, and chawal, said then CEO Ajay Kaul in 2014. True or false? First on the buzzer is Anjana.
False.
False. Passes to the next participant on the buzzer, and that is Janu.
It's true.
No, you have to agree or disagree with Anjana. Anjana said false.
I disagree with her.
You disagree with her. And yes, that is it. We don't have, that's it. We don't have anybody else on the buzzer. So I'll go back to Anjana. Just out of curiosity, why did you say false?
Well, Coke said something similar. So in my opinion, I think it's false.
So you think that it should have been Coke instead of Domino's?
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a look at the answer. Janu said true, so I don't really have to ask why to her. So let's take a look at the answer. The answer is indeed true. So that means, Anjana, that's a -5 to you. Janu, you lost 5 points in the first question. And like I said, a bit of pep talk perhaps worked. Because you got it right, because you disagreed with Anjana's belief in the statement that I gave, so you get 10 points, right? So you got a -5 last time. This time you get a +10. So you're on 5 points. That's well done. Anjana, however, you stay on, you get a -5. We'll move on now to statement number 3. Be very careful, all right? Let me give you a trick. So in each of these statements that I'm giving, I will not be giving you something that is irrelevant to the statement as tweak it to false or something like that. I mean, I won't be changing years or whatever. Who cares about years, really? Okay. So it'll be something that is very important, central to the statement that I've given. That will be either true or false. So you have to focus on that. You have to know the entire fact. One word I will just tweak, but that will be a very important word. Just like the first one, it wasn't Chief Bindas Officer, it was Chief Broke Officer. Moving on, statement number 3. Without having released an album since 2016, Taylor Swift is the richest female musician with an estimated 1.7 billion net worth. Her celebpreneur biz model with a cosmetics company launched in 2017 as a joint venture with LVMH makes up most of the share of her net worth. First on the buzzer is Jack Anton. True or false?
This is false.
False. Next on the buzzer is Pranav. Yes, Pranav. Do you agree or disagree with false?
I agree with Jack Anton.
You agree. Next on the buzzer is Ramesh. Ramesh, do you agree or disagree?
I agree.
Agree. So all three of you think that this is false. Let's go reverse. Ramesh, why do you think this is false?
Because I think this is, I'm guessing it might be Beyonce.
It might be Beyonce.
Rihanna,
okay,
one of these two, Rihanna or Beyonce, one of these two.
Okay, let's ask Pranav. Pranav, why did you disagree with it? Why did you say that it is false?
This is Rihanna and the JV is Fenty Beauty. So
yeah.
Is correct. That's the answer, which is why this was false. Not Taylor Swift, but Rihanna. That's well done, Jack Anton from TCS. You open your account with a 10er. Pranav, I think you got a negative earlier, so now you get a +6 this time. And Ramesh, you're on the scoreboard as well with a 3. So 10 to Jack Anton, 6 to Pranav, 3 to Ramesh. Well done, all three of you, identifying this correctly. Not Taylor Swift, but Rihanna. First on this list in the entertainment industry, because she's number 2, is Oprah Winfrey, who's perpetually held that title. Okay, number 2 is now Rihanna. Let's move on to statement number 4. In 1998, Pepsi bought Tropicana for 3.3 billion. Now Pepsi is selling Tropicana, Naked, and other juice brands in North America for 3.3 billion. True or false? Right, we have the buzzers in. First on the buzzer is Janu. Janu, true or false?
It's true.
True. Passes to the next person on the buzzer, and that is Anjana. Anjana, agree, disagree with true?
I agree.
Agree. Last time she disagreed with you, just saying. Next on the buzzer, number 3 is Pranav. Pranav, agree or disagree with true?
I agree.
All right, so all three of you think this is true, so I can't really ask why you think this is true, because perhaps you do think that this statement is correct. Let's take a look at the answer. Is correct. That's the answer. All three of you, well done. Janu, that's a +10. Anjana, that's a +6. And Pranav, that's a +3. So well done, all three of you, accumulating points on this one. Anjana forgetting the past, right? Janu didn't agree with her, but Anjana forgot about it, and she's like, okay, it's fine, I'll still agree with you, even if you don't agree with me, right? So some friendships perhaps and some bonding being formed amongst these competitors. That's well done. 10 to Janu, 6 to Anjana, and 3 to Pranav. Moving on now to our, so half of the first round done. Moving on to number 5. There are 8 questions in this. Here is number 5. Blast from the past. From left to right, Naren Karthikeyan, Vijay Mallya, and Karun Chandok at a karting circuit in Chennai. True or false? Right, we have the buzzers coming in. First on the buzzer is Ramesh. True or false?
False.
False. Next on the buzzer after Ramesh is Pranav. Agree or disagree with false?
I agree with Ramesh. Yeah.
You agree? All right. Next on the buzzer, number 3 is Janu. Janu, do you agree or disagree with false?
I agree.
Say that again.
I agree.
Agree. All right. Yeah. Janu, why do you agree? Why do you think this is false?
I think it's not in the middle. I don't think it is Vijay Mallya. I think it's actor Ajit. I'm not sure, but I think it's him.
Okay. You know, sometimes, all right, fine, I'll come back to it later. Let's go to Pranav. Pranav, why do you think this is false?
Yeah, like the person in the middle doesn't look like Vijay Mallya. Like, I don't know.
It doesn't look like Vijay Mallya. I don't know what I've shown that doesn't look or does look like Vijay Mallya. But anyway, I mean, you know, you can all be honest and just say I was betting on the previous person, whatever that person said, right? That's perfectly okay as long as you get points. Let's ask Ramesh. Ramesh, since you started this string of false, okay, yeah, why do you disagree?
This is Tendulkar, Lara, and Steve Waugh.
This is Tendulkar, Lara, and Steve Waugh. Let's take a look. That is correct. That's the answer that I was looking for. It is because of that reason. All three of them were sponsored by MRF. Steve Waugh, Sachin Tendulkar, and Brian Lara, right? So those are the three gentlemen that I was looking for. Nevertheless, well done to Pranav and Janu, even though you didn't quite know the reason. But as long as you know who to bet on, who to play along with, who to not disagree with, who to agree with, I mean, it's perfectly okay. So well done. Ramesh gets 10, Pranav gets 6, and Janu, you get 3, right? So well done, all three of you.
Did it get stuck?
Yes.
Yeah, for me too.
I think Ajay is stuck there.
For somebody to hit the buzzer on this one. All right, I'm afraid nobody pressed the buzzer, which means that...
Excuse me, Ajay. You got stuck for quite a bit. We lost you.
So like the first 10 seconds of the question, yeah, we were not able to like see the question.
We only got this for the last 2 seconds.
Yeah, yeah.
Ajay, you're still stuck for us.
Yeah, you're again stuck.
I think this question will be removed, right?
Right, I'm sorry about it. There was some technical glitch. I hope you can all hear me clearly. Just give me a thumbs up if you can. All right, cool. All right, thank you. So nothing happened on this question, so we'll move on to the next one. All right, here is question number 7 on the buzzer on your screen now. The term originated from a Latin word which originally denoted a small rush basket predominantly used for storage of olives. This basket was used as a purse for its soon acquired figurative sense, public purse, public revenue. Let's see who's first on the buzzer. First on the buzzer is Pranav. Yes, Pranav. True or false?
Yeah, true.
True. Next on the buzzer, who do we go to now? Next on the buzzer is Ramesh. Ramesh, do you agree, disagree with true?
I agree.
You agree. Let's move on to third person on the buzzer. Third person on the buzzer is Anjana. Anjana, agree or disagree with true? You agree. All three of you agree with the fact that this is true. Let's take a look at the answer. I'm afraid that is incorrect. The right answer is fiscal. So it's a -5 to all three of you, Pranav, Ramesh, and Anjana. All three of you singing the same tune. Unfortunately, you weren't singing the right tune. Right, so that is incorrect. -5 Pranav, -5 Ramesh, and -5 Anjana. Lots of you losing points on this one. We move on to our final question of round number 1. Here it is on your screen now. Samarendra Kumar Mitra designed, developed, and constructed in 1953 India's first indigenous electronic analog computer for solving linear equations with 10 variables. Seen here is Nehru at the installation of India's first computer in 1964 in IISc Bangalore. First on the buzzer is Jaikantan. True or false?
False.
False. Next up on the buzzer is Ramesh. Ramesh, agree, disagree with false?
Agree.
Agree. Next up on the buzzer, who's number 3 is Pranav. Pranav, agree, disagree with false?
Agree.
Agree. Why do you agree, Pranav?
Because those two I trust their judgment.
Okay, finally, some honesty. Okay, Ramesh.
Same logic.
Same logic. Okay, Jaikantan, why are the two of them betting on you? What is it that you think?
I don't think it was at IISc, it was some other place. ISI, I think.
You don't think it was in ISC? Where do you think it was then?
ISI, Calcutta.
Is correct. That's the answer. Well done there, Jaikantan. Well done, Ramesh and Pranav. 10 to Jaikantan, 6 to Ramesh, and 3 to Pranav. That brings us to the end of what has been a wonderful round 1, a roller coaster of sorts. I had no clue which direction this quiz is taking, and I'm sure even you have no clue which direction this quiz is heading. Some performances there by a couple of you. Of course, most of you did face some setbacks, but let's see. Lots of questions still to come. Let's take a look at the scoreboard and where we stand after the end of round 1. There's 3 more rounds to go. Okay, I need the scores. Can you send me the scores? All right. Okay, scores as follows. Jaikantan is currently on 20. Jaikantan from TCS currently on 20. Then also in second place. In second place, we have Janu Surendran from Tenant Cube. You're on 18. Then in third place, we have Ramesh from Freshworks at 14. Then some distance away is Pranav, who gave a lot of answers, but unfortunately not all of them were correct. Pranav, you're on 8. Then we have Anjana at -4 and Srivatsavan, you are at -5 with just one answer there. So Jaikantan, Janu and Ramesh, those are the scores after the end of round 1. We'll move on to our next round. That's coming up now on your screen. Long way to go. Remember, we're looking for only one participant amongst the 6 of you. This is called Friend in Need. There are 6 questions, 1 question to each participant in ascending order of scores. So we've already identified the scores, which means we'll start with Srivatsavan, who was on -5, right? I'll be giving you 20 seconds. You can answer if you think you know the answer for +10, but if you don't know the answer, instead of actually giving the answer, you can wait for somebody else to help you. How? By hitting the buzzer. If somebody else hits the buzzer, you can say that, okay, fine, I will seek their help. You can seek their help, and if they do actually help you with the answer, and if that is correct, both of you get 5 points. If that is incorrect, both of you get -5. You have to accept or reject the help that you get from a fellow participant. If, however, I get a wrong answer from the 2 of you, others can certainly buzz in for +5 and -5. Remember, even for buzzing in, you have 20 seconds to hit the buzzer. Right, let's start. First question, Srivatsavan, if you're ready. Okay, others on the buzzer. You can only seek help, Srivatsavan, of the first person on the buzzer. Srivatsavan, I would request you to unmute yourself.
Ajay, sorry. Can a person attempt a question and then seek help? Can I give an answer?
No, you cannot give an answer and then say, oh my God, this was wrong. Somebody please help me. No. Right?
You let the timer run down and then you'll start, right?
Timer will continue to run. You still have 20 seconds. Okay. All right. Srivatsavan, here's your question. Everybody else on the buzzer. In 2017, World Olympians Association unveiled its landmark OLY post-nominal titles initiative at the 8th IOC International Athletes Forum in Lausanne. WOA President Joel Buzu, who you can see here on the right, presented the first certificate with the title OLY to whom? So who got the first OLY title? There's nobody willing to help you right now, Srivatsavan. So you can give an answer without fearing any negatives.
I suppose it is Bill Gates.
You think this was Bill Gates? There's nobody else on the buzzer. So I will close this. It isn't Bill Gates. The right answer that I was looking for is Thomas Bach, the IOC president. He got the OLY post-nominal title. If I'm not wrong, Bill Gates never really participated in any of the Olympics. So the title Olympians, unlikely that he will get. But anyway, this was Thomas Bach, the IOC president. No points to anyone. Nothing lost by Srivatsavan either. We'll move on to our next participant.
So sorry, the wrong answer doesn't get negative.
Direct.
Because nobody wanted to help him.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no. Okay.
You should have decided to help him if you knew the answer.
No. I'm just saying it's we can guess for if it's a direct, we can guess. There's no harm in guessing.
Correct. If it's a direct and there is, Ramesh, just let me. If it's a direct and there's nobody willing to help, then go for it. Yeah, that's just how it works. Okay. All right. Moving on to our next participant. That is Anjana. Anjana, because you were on -4, here's your question. This is your direct. One second. All right, Anjana, if you're ready, please unmute.
Yeah.
Anjana, if you're ready. Yeah, okay, here's your question. Anjana, this is for you, everybody else on the buzzer. The third company from the industry to file for an IPO this year, right? And the company's name consists the name of the industry it belongs to. Name the company. It is the third company from the industry to file for an IPO this year. This pie chart is taken from their DRHP. Name the company. Still nobody interested in helping you out on the buzzer. There's 6 seconds left. So you can just go for it if you want. And the time for the buzzer is over as well. You don't have any answer, Anjana. Nobody else was interested in helping you out either. The right answer is PB FinTech or Policy Bazaar, right? So from the FinTech industry, the first two who already filed for an IPO, I don't think their IPOs are live yet, is Paytm and MobiKwik. Then is PB FinTech. There were two names that were hidden, were the two co-founders, Alok Bansal and Yashish Daya. Right, two very difficult questions to begin with. Hopefully it'll get easier as we go along in this quiz. We move on to our third question, that is to Pranav from IIT Madras. Pranav, if you're ready, please unmute. Just keep that in mind. Yeah, just unmute yourself. Every time it's your direct question, you can unmute yourself. Okay, here's your question, Pranav. The next one is named Shanghai. The most recent was London, released on 5th August. And the one before that was Berlin, that was released on 15th April. These are named after cities which hosted their international developers conferences. What upgrades are being spoken of? What upgrades are being spoken of? Still no one showing any interest in helping you out on the buzzer. These are certain upgrades. The most recent one on 5th August. Pranav, if you want to give a guess, you can. No negatives.
Right. So I'm guessing. So
hands up.
Yeah. So since like Shanghai and Berlin are mentioned, I'm guessing it's like, are they like upgrading Tesla Oasis or something?
Tesla Oasis, I'm afraid that is incorrect. Nobody wanting to help you out. Turns out another difficult question there. The right answer that I was looking for is Ethereum hard forks. The cryptocurrency Ethereum, they had most recently had their London hard fork. There was a Berlin hard fork before this. There is a Shanghai hard fork that is coming, God knows when, because nobody really knows anything about Ethereum. They just decide whatever they want to. But anyway, this is the Ethereum hard forks is what I was looking for. We'll move on to our next question. That's number 4. This is a direct to Ramesh. Ramesh, if you're ready. All right, here is your question. In the late 1950s, to study effects of space and anti-gravity on the human body, NASA recruited 11 men, now called the Gallaudet 11. They were subjected to anti-gravity flights called vomit comets. While other astronauts felt queasy, the G11 were completely at ease. How were the G11 different and thus selected? Ramesh, I do have interest on the buzzer for you from Jaikantan from TCS if you're interested. You still have 10 seconds to decide. Ramesh?
Yeah, I'll take Jaikantan. I'll take Jaikantan, sir.
Okay, Jaikantan, please unmute and give the answer.
They were all deaf people.
Okay, and so why were they selected?
So for deaf people, their inner ear thing and all will be different. So they will not feel nausea easily. They can survive in anti-gravity and things like that.
Okay, Ramesh, you heard his answer. Accept or reject?
Accept.
You accept. Let's see if that is correct. That is indeed correct. That's the answer that I was looking for. Well done there, Jaikantan, and well done, Ramesh, on accepting his help. Ramesh, would you like to say something to Jaikantan because he helped you with some points?
If I end up winning, I'll share the prize money.
Oh, well, you went too far ahead. I was just thinking of a thank you, perhaps. But, well, Jaikantan, right, there's some signaling there.
All I've been doing so far is chipping off JK, so.
All right, so I'm guessing Ramesh is playing some kind of 4D chess here, signaling Jaikantan to, maybe do something that, Jaikantan isn't really familiar with, which is not winning quizzes. Anyway, we'll see if that works out today as well. That's well done, Jaikantan. That is correct. So they were all deaf, and which made them immune to motion sickness. Ramesh gets 5, Jaikantan gets 5, happiness all around. We move on to our next question. That's number 5, and that's to Janu. Janu, if you're ready, here is your question. Others on the buzzer. In the 1970s, he led India's 7th largest conglomerate with annual sales of rupees 1,600 crores. In the 1980s, around 60% of the eponymous township, which was originally called Begamabad, was employed by him. One of his grandsons made a distinct mark in Indian sports. Who is he and who is his grandson? I need both answers. You do have interest on the buzzer from Ramesh from Freshworks. Do you want help, Janu? I need both answers.
Yeah, I'd like to take his help, please.
Okay, Ramesh, please give both answers.
Okay. Well, I'll say
quick.
Birla and Aryaman Birla.
Birla and Aryaman Birla. Janu Surendran, accept or reject? Quick.
Okay, I accept because I know that Aryaman.
You accept. You accept. That is incorrect. That's a -5 to both Ramesh and Janu. Next on the buzzer was Pranav. Pranav for +5, -5. Your answer.
Yeah, I'll pass. I'll pass. I act like nervous bus. Yeah.
You had the same answer, is it?
No. I accidentally bus, so it's fine. It's fine.
Well, I'll have to give you a negative. We've tested these buzzers, so I'm hoping gravity isn't too much in your part of the world, right? So don't let your thumbs drop on the buzzer. That's a -5 Pranav, -5 Janu, -5 Ramesh. The right answer that I was looking for, I don't know what is Aryaman Birla's contribution to the world of sports, and that too distinct. Maybe something here that are not quite distinct enough. But this is Rai Bahadur Gujarmal Modi and Lalit Modi, who founded the eponymous town Modi Nagar in Uttar Pradesh, close to Ghaziabad. So yeah, that the Modis is what I was looking for, and perhaps you would agree with me when I say that he had a distinct mark on Indian sports, right? That's a -5 all around. Ramesh, Janu, and Pranav, -5 to all three of you. We'll move on to our final question. That's to Jaikantan. Jaikantan, you can relax your fingers. This is your direct. You can just put your minds to work. Just unmute yourself. You don't have to press the buzzer, Jaikantan. You seem to be in a very buzzer-ready position. This is your direct. You can just relax on this one and try to give an answer. Okay, Jaikantan, here is your question. She is Sunchika Pandey, the owner of Hat Media, who is fondly called Twitter Madam by employees of which organizations whose social media presence has received a facelift thanks to her quirky takes. You have help available from Pranav from IITM.
So if I take the help, how much points do I get?
I mean, if the both of you are correct, you get 5 points each. But if you reject help and if you give a wrong answer, you get a -5 right now. Quick,
if I just give a correct answer, I'll attempt the correct answer.
You'll get 10 points. If you give a correct answer right now, you get 10 points.
Okay, I'll say this is Mumbai Police.
You'll say Mumbai Police. Let's see if that is correct. That is indeed correct. That's the answer that I was looking for. I would have given points for BMC as well, or even for the Pune City Police, because she, as her LinkedIn claims, that she's doing it for everyone. So Mumbai Police, BMC, and this is what I meant by saying quirky online for these platforms. Right, well done there, Jaikantan. That is +10, and unfortunately doesn't pass to Pranav for obvious reasons. That brings us to the end of round 2. We won't take a look at the scores right now. We'll take a look at the scores after the end of round 3. It's only been 6 questions. So we move on to round number 3 now. All right, here's the rules for round 3. This is called Saving Grace. 6 questions on the buzzer. Just because I'm a good person, I will give those who give a wrong answer on the buzzer a chance to not actually get negatives, but that won't be a freebie. You will have to still do a bit of effort. You will have to bet on whether the following person after you on the buzzer will be able to give the answer or not. You just have to predict what they're doing. Even if you think that, oh, if I haven't gotten a right answer, I don't think the person after me can get a right answer. You can be all, overconfident like that also. As long as you're right, it doesn't matter to me, right? So if you bet on the next person after you, then I think that, that person will be able to give the answer. And if that actually happens, if you turn out to be Paul the Octopus in this case, you will not get a negative. All right. So 10 points. Otherwise, if there's nobody after you on the buzzer, it's a straight +10 -5. Yeah, very simple on the buzzer. We'll start with our first of 6 questions. Here is question number 1. It's a 2-part question. All right, so I need both parts. You can't just give me one part and expect me to give you full points. There are no part points available. Here is your question. This organization uses the slogan, "We will either find a way or make one," and has the motto that translates to "Everything is achievable through hard work." They recently broke a record as part of a project they established in 1985 and means freezing point. This record was earlier held by a South American country. Which organization and what record? Something very recent, been in the news. So you have to tell me what organization, what South American record did they recently broke? It's an organization that you sort of would be familiar with. If you're interested in traveling or if you belong to that part of the country, the time is up. I will declare the answer. The answer that I was looking for was Border Roads Organization and the highest motorable road called Umlingla under Project Himang. So that was the 1985 project. This is the Border Roads Organization creating Umlingla in Eastern Ladakh region. Earlier, this record was held by Bolivia, which was the South American country in question with the highest motorable road. No points to anyone. We move on to our next question. Here is number 2, common to everyone on the buzzer. Made of hard carbon, the made in Lapland Valhalla, which in Norse mythology is the giant hall of the gods, a place for heroes and glory, gave us exactly that. Someone who put himself there and exhibited his chutzpah last week. Who is the person and what was his Valhalla? First on the buzzer is Jekantan.
Can you hear me? Okay. This is Neeraj Chopra and his javelin.
Neeraj Chopra is the person and his javelin is Valhalla. Let's see if that is correct. That is indeed correct. That's the answer that I was looking for. Jekantan, that's a right. So Jekantan from TCS, building on his early advantage there. Well done. It is indeed Neeraj Chopra's javelin, which is called Valhalla. Got a gold medal, something of significance that we were all hoping for 8 years, no, 12 years, 13 years now. Actually, nothing after Abhinav Bindra. Yeah, so for 13 years, finally we got a gold. Well done, Neeraj Chopra. Well done, Jekantan. That's 10 points to you. We move on to our next question. One moment. Right. We move on to our next question. Here is question number 3, common to everyone on the buzzer. Again, 2-part question, something very recent. One way to describe a recent multi-billion-dollar all-stock deal can be found in a recent McKinsey report. Thus far, such businesses have taken the lead to the point of diverting $8 to $10 billion in annual revenues away from banks. Banks that underestimate the threat may see continued loss in share and could lose out on participating in a growing value pool and gaining share among younger and new to credit customers. What business model and what deal made down under? On the buzzer, we have Ramesh from Freshworks. Yes, 2-part question.
So this would be buy now, pay later, and Square buying Afterpay, the Australian.
Buy now, pay later, Square buying Afterpay from Australia is correct. Buy now, pay later or POS financing is the answer that I was looking for. Well done, Ramesh. Good answer. That's a plus 10 to you. Very good. All right, 3 questions more in this round. Here is question number 4. 2-part question again. Produced by Yash Raj Films and starring Hrithik Roshan, which brand released this song in 2016 with the Six Pack Band, India's first blank band, fill in the blank, to encourage people to be more inclusive and accepting, irrespective of culture, upbringing, and other differences. Also fill in the blank. Which brand and fill in the blank? India's first blank band. Right, we have buzzers coming in. First on the buzzer, we have Srivatsavan. Yes, Srivatsavan.
It's a transgender band, actually. It is for the third gender.
Okay. And which brand?
Okay, in the which band, in the sense you're asking me the band's genre?
Brand, company brand. Yeah. You've given me the band. I'm looking for the brand.
Okay, you need two answers. Okay.
That's right.
It's probably a dance band or something.
Take names.
I am not sure. I'm just giving the first answer. I'm not sure about the second.
All right, I would need both because this is on the buzzer. There's nobody else on the buzzer, which means Shivatsavan, I have no choice but to give you a negative. That's a -5. Although you were right about filling in the blank, the answer that I was looking for was Brook Pond Red Label. Perhaps with the colors, you could have thought in that direction. This is India's first transgender band, the Six-Pack band. All right, it's a -5. Unfortunately, Shivatsavan. We move on. Two more questions to go. All right, here is question number 5. Again, two-part question, but they are very closely related to each other. So I'm sure you will be able to work out one if you get the other. You will be able to work out the second if you get the first one. Right, here's your question. In the early 1950s, what was described by its creator this way? I wanted it to look like nothing else in the world, and it should be surrounded by a train. First on the buzzer is Jaikantan from TCS. Two-part question. Who describing what? Please unmute and answer.
It's some kind of logo. Not in the.
I'll have to close this, Jaikantan. 3 seconds, 2 and 1. Closing. Nothing coming. And there is nobody else to perhaps be your saving grace, to be your savior here. Nobody else showed any interest on the buzzer. That's a -5, Jaikantan. The right answer was easy peasy, very straightforward. Somebody who's a big fan of trains or toy trains actually is Walt Disney describing Disneyland, right? I just wanted to be surrounded with train, right? So that's what he said. This is, like I said, you get one, you definitely get the other. This is Walt Disney describing Disneyland. Final question now of this round. Here is question number 6. The first time this verbal phrase appeared in print was in the 1940s. This verbal phrase appeared in print was in the 1940s in the Big Spring Herald, a Texan newspaper. Initially, the phrase involved prunes as opposed to the dairy product that now features in this verbal phrase. What phrase am I looking for? Right, we do have our first buzzer, and that's from Janu from Tenant Cube. Yes, Janu?
Is it got milk?
Got milk. I'm afraid that isn't correct, and there is nobody else in helping you out with that. It isn't got milk. The right answer that I was looking for, first time this verbal phrase, say cheese is correct. That's the answer, Pranav. But you should have tried to hit the buzzer and answer, and not much later after the time available for the buzzer close. So this was say cheese that perhaps it's becoming somewhat of an obsolete term because we don't really say anything and just sort of make our lips in weird ways that I'm still struggling with all those selfies and everything. But anyway, that brings us to the end of this round. That's a -5 there to Janu on that last question. We'll take a look at the scores. While we do that, I would like to thank our sponsors, our title sponsor, Union Bank of India, powered by CFA Institute in association with Manage Engine. They've gotten together and have helped us bring together the Hindu Business Line Cerebration Corporate Quiz 2021. I hope you've been enjoying the 3 rounds that we just conducted, not just the questions and the answers, some wonderful answers that we got from the participants, but even the manner in which they've all interacted with each other and just brought in a competition. That is always lovely to see. Any kind of quiz competition, yes, bring in your best game, yes, but certainly enjoy, right? So I hope all of you have been doing that. I hope all of you in the various live streaming platforms who are watching us, you've been enjoying the way this quiz is ebbing and flowing from one direction to the other. Nobody really sure of where they stand every time a question is asked, every time we reveal the scoreboard, but we'll see where they are at this point of time. take a look at the scoreboard as well. All right, scores after 3 rounds, starting with participant number 1, that's Jaikantan from TCS, currently at 40, Janu at +8, Anjana at -4, Ramesh at 24, Pranav at 3, and Srivatsavan at -10, which means there is a considerable bit of how the participants have spread out fairly across the spectrum on the scoreboard. Jaikantan currently leading from TCS with a score of 40. And now Ramesh, who was earlier third when we checked the scores last time around, is now second with a score of 24. And then there is some distance amongst the others. But like I said earlier, there's only one participant that will qualify and represent the Chennai region in the final. We still have a two-way fight ongoing, but that can change. Lots of questions to be asked, lots of questions to be answered, 7 to be precise. We move on to our final round. This round is called Double Trouble. There are 7 questions on the buzzer in a crossword after every question. And before actually starting with this round, I will be showing you a crossword. There's 20 seconds per question. The points that you have is default scoring is +5, -5 on the buzzer. But if you do double, do that before you actually give me the answer. Just tell me, I would like to double, and my answer is XYZ. If that is correct, I give you 10 points. If that is incorrect, I give you a -10, and I move on to the next person on the buzzer. As simple as that, right? So still anybody's game. We don't have a clear winner, although there is some advantage that TCS has moving into the second round, but that can all change in a matter of just 2 questions. Or perhaps even 1, right? Does my math work out all right? No, I don't think my math worked all right. But anyway, it can certainly change into two questions. There are 7 questions that I have to ask. Here is the crossword first. Let's take a look at what the crossword looks like. So this is what we're trying to solve. We'll go in order. So we'll start with 1 down. It's a fairly long 11-letter answer, right? So I haven't revealed anything right now. One by one, I'll be revealing clues. Just remember one important thing. You will only see images on your screen. You will not see the text of the question on the screen. I will be reading out the text, but if you interrupt me by hitting the buzzer while I'm still in the middle of reading the text, you are indicating that you know the answer. So there is no need for me to continue reading the question, all right? So if you interrupt me while I'm still reading the question, I will not read the question anymore. I will ask you to unmute and give the answer. If that is correct, you get, depending on whether you've doubled or not. I won't be reminding you every time that there is an option of doubling available. Of course, the title of this round is Double Trouble, so you should keep that in mind by yourself. All right, let's start. First question, first visual on your screen. I'm looking for the title. This book is an insightful examination of economic ties between China and Latin America from the 1950s to the present. The name of the book is a portmanteau symbol that
Ajay, we are not able to hear
represents them.
Ajay?
What is the book?
Ajay, your voice broke.
Ajay, sorry for interruption. We were not able to hear you for the last 15 seconds.
All right.
Yeah, please repeat.
Okay, let's do the question again. That's all right. Here's your question. It's an 11-letter answer. This book is an insightful examination of the political and economic ties between China and Latin America from the 1950s to the present. The name of the book is a portmanteau term of the economics practiced by China and a symbol that represents them. What is the book title?
Symbol that represents?
11-letter answer. One word. It's a portmanteau term. What is it called? What is the title of this book? I'm afraid the time has run out and there's nobody who's shown any interest on the buzzer. The right answer that I was looking for is Dragonomics from China. This is Dragonomics. Jaikantan, the buzzer came in too late. You had only 15 seconds, so I can't permit you to give the answer to this question. This is Dragonomics. So nothing lost, still 6 questions to go. This is where Dragonomics is placed. We move on to our next question. That's 2 down. It's still a 10-letter answer that I'm looking for. Here it is on your screen now. I'm looking for a company, 10-letter answer. 50 years after being founded, this company kick-started operations in India, in Delhi being the first market. The company did its debut with a sales force of about 30 to 40. In 2012, they rolled out She Can, You Can, a campaign directed by Shujit Sarkar. This was followed by the More Time Living campaign. Earlier this year, they celebrated. We already have a buzzer. On the buzzer is Pranav. Tell me the company.
I'm guessing this is Tupperware.
You're guessing this is Tupperware. Pranav, are you deliberately not exercising your right to double?
Yeah, I'm not sure. So yeah.
Okay, you're not sure. All right, I'll complete my question. This was followed by the More Time Living campaign. Earlier this year, they celebrated their India Silver Jubilee with Choose Good Everyday campaign. Which company or which brand is this? Pranav said Tupperware. He guessed it was Tupperware. The answer is indeed Tupperware. That's well done. But since you did not double, Pranav, you get 5 points. Okay, only, if I may add, 5 points. Okay, we'll move on to third question. But before that, this is where Tupperware is placed. And now we finally have some reveal in the answer that we're looking for. It's a 6-letter answer, and the third alphabet is revealed. It's a P. Okay, it's a P. Here is your question, everyone. 3 across. I'm looking for a new course. My question is, in March this year, this college began admitting students for a 60-hour course that began in Howard University, Washington in 1991. The approval process took more than a year for a committee to make sure that a subject like this could be taught. What movement that has its origin in 1970s New York City is being taught? What movement that has its origin in 1970s New York City is being taught in this college starting earlier this year? Still waiting for somebody to hit the buzzer. I'm afraid there is no answer, no interest, no inclination to give the answer to this question.
Can I guess now?
Yeah, please.
Pop art.
Pop art. No, this is not pop art, not originating from 1970s New York City. The right answer that I was looking for is
hip hop.
Hip hop. That is correct. That's the answer that I was looking for. Ramesh could have gone for it on the buzzer, but perhaps that fear of negatives and perhaps you're in a slightly difficult situation. One error here can cost Ramesh dearly. So perhaps you being a little too conservative. But I think the time to be being conservative is soon going to end, Ramesh. I'm sure you understand the math there, right? So this is hip hop from this college in Mumbai. And this is Dr. Yatindra Ingle, who's actually designing the course for the college, right? So which is why I have his image. Well done there, Ramesh. Unfortunately, apart from just saying well done, I can't give you points. Right, next question is 4 down. It's again a 6-letter answer, right? So it's a 6-letter answer that I'm looking for. Here is your question, nothing revealed there in the 6 letters on your screen now. I'm looking for a pattern. What are these types of camouflages called? That cubist. All right, we already have a buzzer. That's Jack Hunton from TCS. Yes, Jack Hunton.
Do you want to complete the question?
No, you hit the buzzer.
Okay.
What is your
Okay.
answer?
Okay. Dazzle.
Dazzle, and you did not, and you want to play this default scoring, is it?
Oh,
well,
I'll pay for.
Guessing
Okay.
you did not want to.
I can't change, right? All right.
Not after. I was very clear about that. But nevertheless, I will complete my question before I declare the answer. What are these types of camouflages called? That cubist artist Picasso inspired the British artist Norman Wilkinson to create after the First World War, who got into a legal dispute with a zoologist, Mr. Graham Kerr, to take credit for it, right? So what is this pattern called? The answer that I was looking for, as identified by Jaikantan, is indeed dazzle, but he only gets 5 points because in that moment of little bit of excitement, he missed out on just keeping the composure and taking full 10 points and perhaps establishing his supremacy in this quiz, but perhaps after this question, who knows? Right, so we'll wait for one more question now. Jaikantan, that is correct. That's a +5 to you. Well done on that. Let's place dazzle and move on to question number 5. Here it is on your screen, 7-letter answer. It's a company that I'm looking for. Which entity is behind this education portal? Alongside this box.
Yeah, I've got it.
Right, we have Pranav who's on the buzzer. Yes, Pranav.
I'm doubling down. I'm saying this is Zerodha.
You are doubling and your answer is Zerodha. I'll complete my question. Which entity is behind this education portal alongside this box set of books, both written by Karthik Rangappa? Let's see if your answer Zerodha is correct. That is correct. And because you doubled, Pranav, you get a +10. That's well done. Right, 10 points there to Pranav. There was interest on the buzzer by a couple of others as well, but doesn't pass. We'll move on to our next one. Let's place Zerodha. We move on to 6 across, short and sweet, 4-letter answer, third alphabet L. Third alphabet L. Here is your question, everyone. I'm looking for the company, not towing the line of the flat logoers and instead opting for glossy and embossed identities. Which 2004 founded company recently refreshed its identities to this for its biz, waitlist, and res verticals? Which company is this?
I'm doubling down.
First on the buzzer is Pranav. Yes, Pranav, again.
Yeah, I'm doubling down. I'm saying this is Yelp.
You are doubling again. You doubled the last time around and it worked in your favor. So this time you decided to double again and your answer is Yelp. Let's see if that is correct. That is indeed correct. So they've, as opposed to widely popular off late flat logos, flat designs, these guys from Yelp have decided to still maintain the slightly retro, if I can call it that, embossed and glossy logos. They did a bit of rebranding recently. So this is what it looked like. Good answer there, Pranav. That's a +10 because double. And now to our final question of Chennai region. So that's Yelp that is placed. We move on to our final question. It's a 9-letter answer. First alphabet S.
Can we have the scores? Sorry. Can we have the scores? Sorry.
After this, please. I'm looking for a name. 3 years before he founded the company in which he was a boomerang employee, he wrote a job application after dropping out of his college in Oregon. The application, first on the buzzer, is Pranav. Yes, Pranav. I'm looking for a name, 5 and 4.
I'm doubling down.
All right.
I'm guessing this is Steve Jobs.
You're doubling down and you're guessing it's Steve Jobs. I will complete. The application lists his interest in electronic tech and design engineer. Last month, this application was at the forefront of a digital and physical competition where the latter won comprehensively. Whose application and what was happening? Your answer is Steve Jobs, which is what goes into this crossword that I was looking for. Let's see if that is correct. Is correct. So this was Steve Jobs' application from 1973 being sold as a NFT and also as a printed copy. And like I said in my question, the latter one pretty comprehensively, I think with a margin of 12x. So 12 times the amount that was offered as an NFT. That's well done, Pranav. You got 3 back-to-back tenors. I don't know if that really works in your favor, help you catapult you to the national final. We'll take a look at the final scoreboard. But what a wonderful performance by each one of you, all our participants. Lovely performance there. Pranav finishing on 3 tenors, if I'm not wrong, at the end. We'll see how the final scoreboard is stacked. But thank you, each one of you. I hope all of you amongst the participants thoroughly enjoyed being a part of this quiz. I certainly for one did. I really enjoyed asking all these questions, getting out on all those, fundas from each one of you. Some of them beautifully cracked. Some of them I was hoping would be cracked, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. Perhaps whoever's qualifying is saving the best for the last, for the national final. But I do hope you've given enough indication to all the other finalists that will qualify from the other regions. Right, final scores now. This is what the scoreboard looks like. Unfortunately for Anjana, who finishes with a score of -4, for Srivatsavan, who finishes with a score of -10, and for Janu, who finishes with a score of 8. You were amongst the top 6, so well done to each one of you. But unfortunately, this is where your journey ends as 4th, 5th, and 6th. But also, the journey ends for Ramesh, who for a brief moment was in a position to give our eventual winner some bit of competition. You finished with a score of 24, but that's a very respectable performance. And so you finished 3rd. Unfortunately, this is where your journey ends as well. With 35 points that you scored in that last round, still wasn't enough for you to take you into the national final. But as a sole representative for educational institutions in the Chennai region, well done there, Pranav Hari. You finished 2nd, a very respectable 2nd position, Pranav, with a score of 38, which was agonizingly some distance away from Jaikantan, who finished this quiz with a score of 45 points. Congratulations, Jaikantan. You're a winner from the Chennai region and also a qualifier in the national final. A very well done on behalf of everyone from the Hindu BusinessLine Cerebration Corporate Quiz 2021 team. My thank yous to each one of you, and well done and congratulations to Jaikantan for qualifying in the national final. I will be seeing you one more time. I would also like to thank our sponsors, our title sponsor, Union Bank of India. The quiz was powered by CFA Institute and of course, in association with Manage Engine. Thank you to all our sponsors for making this quiz possible. And of course, giving these quizzers a platform to showcase their intelligence and a little bit of wit that we got in plenty. Thank you, everyone. That's it from me. I hope all of you had a wonderful time. I will look forward to you joining us in the next regional final, that is the Kochi regional final, where 6 equally bright and smart teams will compete, and eventually we will be left with 1 participant who will compete with Jaikantan from TCS, who's a qualifier from the Chennai regional round in the national final that will be taking place later. That's it from me. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
So everyone, bye, take care.
एक बार आके देख लो, कहीं मैंने कोई गड़बड़ तो नहीं कर दी।
सिर्फ मेरा नाम क्यों?
अरे जिसने घर खरीदा है उसी का नाम होना चाहिए ना।
और फ्रेंड्स क्या कहेंगे?
कहेंगे कि काश अपनी बीवी भी ऐसी होती।
पिछले 100 सालों से ऐसी हर अच्छी शुरुआत का साथ दे रहे हैं हम, यूनियन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया।
Running a marathon is not about running 42 kilometers. It's about running 1 kilometer 42 times. When I train, I focus on the series of small goals in front of me rather than the finish line. And this precisely mirrors the mindset I've needed in growing my business. When the financial crisis hit the United States, I was 25 years old. I was in asset management and everyone I worked with was unsure of their future. But I decided to turn this into an opportunity. So I came home to make that happen. India has always been a place where people save by buying real estate or gold or simply stuffing it under their mattress. I saw this as something that I could try and change. So with just one small investor, I started my own asset management company. We're now giving domestic investors access to listed alternative investments for the very first time in India's financial history. Working with government, we have been involved in drafting regulations and being evangelists for our industry. In just one generation, we have been able to adapt the best practices from the West and build an investment culture at home. In the last 8 years, our team has grown from zero to $1 billion under management, and we still have a long way to go. Marathon winners don't often think about winning. They think about putting in their best performance. And I want my best performance to make a better, more robust India. And this is just the starting line.
IT is evolving at breakneck speed, shaping the world in its way and altering the way we perceive things. IT is pulsing at the heart of today's business, and Manage Engine works towards simplifying IT management for businesses. Enterprise IT management solutions designed for IT service management, IT operations management, identity and access management, security information and event management, unified endpoint management and security, and advanced analytics. Our exhaustive portfolio of over 60 products has managed the IT of more than 180,000 organizations and is used by over 2 million IT professionals across 190 countries. Real-time IT management solutions for the new speed of business.
Let's build a better world for investing.
Let's always put our clients' needs above our own.
Let's have honest conversations.
Let's have candid debates about what retirement savings really means.
Let's dispel false hopes
and build real dreams.
Let's stand by our client's side as the world around them changes.
Let's have the courage to take the long view.
Let's hold ourselves to a higher standard of ethics.
Let's build a better world for investing.
One charter holder at a time.
That's what we do.
That's what I do.
That's what I do every day.
I am a CFA charter holder.
I am a CFA charter holder.
I'm a CFA charter holder.
I am a CFA charter holder. I measure up.
I measure up.
My name is Ding Shua.
My name is Ganesh Sundar.
My name is Kyoko Narita.
My name is Paul Smith.
제 이름은 송진희입니다.
And I'm building a better world for investing.
CFA Institute. Let's measure up.
एक बार आके देख लो कहीं मैंने कोई गड़बड़ तो नहीं कर दी।
सिर्फ मेरा नाम क्यों?
अरे जिसने घर खरीदा है उसी का नाम होना चाहिए ना।
और फ्रेंड्स क्या कहेंगे?
कहेंगे कि काश अपनी बीवी भी ऐसी होती।
पिछले 100 सालों से ऐसी हर अच्छी शुरुआत का साथ दे रहे हैं हम, यूनियन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया।
Running a marathon is not about running 42 kilometers. It's about running 1 kilometer 42 times. When I train, I focus on the series of small goals in front of me rather than the finish line. And this precisely mirrors the mindset I've needed in growing my business. When the financial crisis hit the United States, I was 25 years old. I was in asset management and everyone I worked with was unsure of their future. But I decided to turn this into an opportunity. So I came home to make that happen. India has always been a place where people save by buying real estate or gold or simply stuffing it under their mattress. I saw this as something that I could try and change. So with just one small investor, I started my own asset management company. We're now giving domestic investors access to listed alternative investments for the very first time in India's financial history. Working with government, we have been involved in drafting regulations and being evangelists for our industry. In just one generation, we have been able to adapt the best practices from the West and build an investment culture at home. In the last 8 years, our team has grown from zero to $1 billion under management, and we still have a long way to go. Marathon winners don't often think about winning. They think about putting in their best performance. And I want my best performance to make a better, more robust India. And this is just the starting line.
IT is evolving at breakneck speed, shaping the world in its way and altering the way we perceive things. IT is pulsing at the heart of today's business, and Manage Engine works towards simplifying IT management for businesses. Enterprise IT management solutions designed for IT service management, IT operations management, identity and access management, security information and event management, unified endpoint management and security, and advanced analytics. Our exhaustive portfolio of over 60 products has managed the IT of more than 180,000 organizations and is used by over 2 million IT professionals across 190 countries. Real-time IT management solutions for the new speed of business.
Let's build a better world for investing.
Let's always put our clients' needs above our own.
Let's have honest conversations.
Let's have candid debates about what retirement savings really means.
Let's dispel false hopes
and build real dreams.
Let's stand by our client's side as the world around them changes.
Let's have the courage to take the long view.
Let's hold ourselves to a higher standard of ethics.
Let's build a better world for investing.
One charter holder at a time.
That's what we do.
That's what I do.
That's what I do every day.
I am a CFA charter holder.
I am a CFA charter holder.
I'm a CFA charter holder.
I am a CFA charter holder. I measure up.
I measure up.
My name is Ding Shua.
My name is Ganesh Sundar.
My name is Kyoko Narita.
My name is Paul Smith.
제 이름은 송진희입니다.
And I'm building a better world for investing.
CFA Institute. Let's measure up.
एक बार आके देख लो कहीं मैंने कोई गड़बड़ तो नहीं कर दी।
सिर्फ मेरा नाम क्यों?
अरे जिसने घर खरीदा है उसी का नाम होना चाहिए ना।
और फ्रेंड्स क्या कहेंगे?
कहेंगे कि काश अपनी बीवी भी ऐसी होती।
पिछले 100 सालों से ऐसी हर अच्छी शुरुआत का साथ दे रहे हैं हम, यूनियन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया।
Running a marathon is not about running 42 kilometers. It's about running 1 kilometer 42 times. When I train, I focus on the series of small goals in front of me rather than the finish line. And this precisely mirrors the mindset I've needed in growing my business. When the financial crisis hit the United States, I was 25 years old. I was in asset management and everyone I worked with was unsure of their future. But I decided to turn this into an opportunity. So I came home to make that happen.